This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Cop dies following crash in Westmoreland. The Police High Command is expressing sincere condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues of a police constable who died as a result of injuries he received in a motor vehicle accident on Bay Road, Little London in Westmoreland on Friday, March 26. He has been identified as 27-year-old Nicoy Walker, attached to the Savannah Lamar Traffic Department. Reports indicate that about 7:50 p.m., Constable Walker was traveling towards Little London when he allegedly lost control of the vehicle and collided in an Audi motor car that was traveling in the opposite direction. The police were summoned and both drivers were transported to hospital, where Walker died whilst being treated and the other driver admitted in stable condition. The Forces Chaplaincy Unit and Welfare Unit are providing support to the family members and colleagues of Constable Walker. Police say they have strong evidence in Jackson case. Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of crime, Fitz Bailey, says the police have gathered strong evidence in the murder case involving 20-year-old Kenise Jackson. The Deputy Commissioner says investigations are advanced and charges are expected to be laid soon. The police have detained a 50-year-old man in connection with the murder. Jackson, who is from Independence City in Portmore, St. Catherine, went missing on Wednesday. Her body was later found near a fishing beach on Dyke Road, Portmore, on Friday morning. She was a past student of the St. Andrew High School for Girls and worked as an accounting clerk up to the time of her death. Bailey, who accompanied Prime Minister Andrew Holness to the home of the deceased woman earlier today, told family members that the police are confident in the evidence they have gathered. "What I will assure you is that the investigation is well advanced, and based on where we are now, we are confident that justice will be served," he assured the family. He continued, "We have recovered some of her property. We know how the incident happened, and we have discovered some additional things that point to how it happened, and we have an idea as to when it happened." Meanwhile, in response to the family's criticism of the police's conduct in relation to the missing person report filed for Jackson on Wednesday, Bailey disclosed that a probe has been launched into whether the police followed protocol in their treatment of the report. Prime Minister Andrew Holness also assured the family that the process which took place would be reviewed. "I am particularly concerned that you have raised the issue regarding response time of the police, but as a general principle, we are going to review the internal process. Already we have a new policy. Whether or not that policy has filtered down to the administrative staff, that's something we have to correct," Holness said. "It can't be in the future that any police officer is dismissive of the public or treat lightly any report of someone that is reported missing and is potentially in danger," he said. Alleged robber killed in Manchester. One of two men who allegedly attempted to rob a gambling outlet in Maidstone, Manchester this morning was killed by a licensed firearm holder. Head of the Manchester Police, Superintendent Gary Francis, confirmed the incident, which took place sometime after 8 a.m. He said the men were challenged by the licensed firearm holder as they tried to escape. One of them was shot and pronounced dead. Francis confirmed, noting that all the details on the incident were not yet available. The news understands that a firearm was recovered from the deceased man and a stash of cash. The other gunman escaped. However, the news understands that he was turned over to the police by his mother after seeking refuge at home. Francis said the cottage police who responded to the incident are investigating. Saint and pastor released from jail. Saint and pastor Peter Chambers, who was earlier this week arrested for his controversial remarks predicting the death of Prime Minister Andrew Holness, has been released from jail. However, he says the police are still investigating and have confiscated his cell phone. Chambers was arrested on Wednesday morning by a team from the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch following his campaign on social media against the government's restrictions to reduce the spread of COVID-19. As part of its measures, the government has implemented restrictions for places of worship. A quantity of foreign currencies was also allegedly seized during the police operation. Chambers, claiming vindication yesterday, was cheered on by supporters in the Brownstown market during an interview, some of whom hailed him as a prophet. He said during his time in lockup, he was treated well by other inmates, who he said treated him like the former Tivoli Garden strongman Christopher Dudus Coke. Chambers insisted that the police have no case against him and that his constitutional rights were breached. "I have not been charged. There is no case. All is just allegations," he said. He claimed that the controversial video of him being circulated was tampered with. In the video, he said the Prime Minister would go down for fighting against the church. "They claim that I threatened the government. What they do is fix the video. If you look into the content of the video, you will know that is not a threat," he insisted. "Right now, CTOC mesmerized. They should let me go from the first day, but they wanted to interrogate me. That's why they shut me down. They violate my constitutional rights, but me go leave them to God," he remarked. Chambers maintained that he had no political motive when making the remarks. He also said, despite his arrest, that he harbors no ill feelings towards the Prime Minister, the government, or anyone else. "Love, love, love, every one of them, even when they apprehended me. The Bible says, love your neighbor as thyself. So I love Andrew and I love everybody, even in Brownstown, who were rejoicing. Just tell them that me love them and I forgive them, because they don't know what they have done," he said. 9 more COVID-19 deaths. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has reported 9 deaths from COVID-19 in the past 24 hours, as the death toll from the infectious and deadly disease now appears to be rising at a higher rate. Fatalities from the disease are now 566. The 9 people are from the corporate area, St. Elizabeth and Manchester. They are a 92-year-old man, an 82-year-old woman, a 59-year-old woman, and a 66-year-old woman, all from St. Elizabeth, a 69-year-old man and an 87-year-old woman, a 69-year-old woman and a 93-year-old man, all from Kingston and St. Andrew. An 89-year-old woman from Manchester was reported as the 9th person to have died yesterday. Meanwhile, the number of cases being treated in the nation's hospitals remains high, with 427 now in hospital. 41 of those are critically ill and 45 are experiencing moderate symptoms. The number of new cases, however, has fallen significantly, with 289 confirmed cases recorded yesterday, increasing the number of overall cases since last year to 37,747. The positivity rate has also fallen to 22.6%. However, there is still nearly 20,000 active cases of COVID-19 in Jamaica. The corporate area comprising Kingston and St. Andrew accounted for the highest number of new confirmed cases, recording 92 yesterday. St. Catherine had 81, Clarendon 29, Manchester 24, Portland 21, St. Elizabeth and St. Thomas 13, Westmoreland 6, St. Mary 3, St. James 4, Hanover 2, and Trelawney 1. There were no new cases in St. Anne. 168 people recovered from the illness yesterday, bringing total recoveries to 17,016, or 45%. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.